Get back to work.
Hello,
Slacker.
everybody. We are back for another evening of. Let's just turn the music up just a little bit in the background there. Let me know if it's too loud, guys, in the chat. We are back. I am Cranky Canuck, and we are here for another evening of Late Night with Cranky and Friends. And I'm joined on the far end by the beautiful Hasselhoff herself, joining us for another evening of good conversation. And stuck in the middle, like a, well, we won't go that far, is Red Mage. Sitting down and freezing his ass off in Hamilton. I will get that. Yes.
Steel Town.
Yes. So how are you guys tonight? How's the house? I know you've been working your ass off. You know, work is kicking your ass.
Good Lord. I need to find a job where I can sit on my ass because I'm just over it. I'm too old for this shit. So we gotta work through this.
Okay, all right. Well, you know, it'll mean getting the sub button and making, you know, getting like 4,000 or 5,000 subs and you know,
we got this.
We got this. We got it. We got it. We're down pat. And Red, you know, other than the fact that you're probably anticipating the vehicle coming back home and not having to walk the 2 minutes to the beer store or 10 minutes to Tim Hortons, how are you doing tonight?
Good. I mentioned earlier I picked up the Square Enix bundle, so that's making me very, very happy with a lot of new games.
They aren't new.
To me.
Oh, okay. All right, okay. Just wanted to clarify there, you know. Yeah. Anyway, we've got actually kind of a cool show. We got some new information on stuff that we've talked about before, on a couple stories.
May have to update me a little. I've been MIA, so I'm excited, actually.
Yeah, we will. But first off, I know last night we ran the Power Rangers short that was out there, and everybody really liked that. And we've got some more news about that actually today, so we'll get that in a minute. But I thought that wasn't sure maybe you'd be interested in seeing this, but one of the really cool things about gaming and cosplay is that we get a lot of people creating props for, you know, from games and for this. Men at Arms is probably one of the best prop makers out there. If you don't know who they are, then you're missing out on some awesome work. They just released the video today from where they forged Katrina's daggers from League of Legends. So I'm going to pop it up here for you folks to kind of enjoy seeing this thing being built. And let me know what you think if you like this kind of stuff being here at all. So here you go.
Dagger.
Yay, Katarina.
Damn.
I'm Matt.
I'm Carrie.
We are the Stagmer Brothers, a Baltimore knife and sword.
Our work can be seen on film, Broadway, and at Renaissance festivals around the country.
We're going to be building some of your favorite weapons, and some weapons that you've never seen before.
I feel like is this a reality show?
No, this is an actual web series. Men at Arms.
I feel like I'm watching like
and I were really excited to do a League of Legends
one of those
build.
shows.
We both play on a regular basis. It took us a little while to decide which
They do
champion
excellent work.
Katarina won out.
Oh, yeah. I'm contemplating a trip down to Baltimore now. Just do a week pilgrimage and work with them.
We had to do a lot of research between some of our other skins and some fan art. We're going to make 2 of them. We're going to make them pretty big. They're called knives or daggers in the game, but they're basically a short sword.
We have John use the CNC plasma to cut out the blades for Katarina's sinister steel attack. John cleans and deburrs the blades. They'll have to have a fairly good finish so
Like,
that we can do
the talent that
engraving
goes
and
into
not have to do a
creating
lot of
these things
surface
is just
finishing afterwards.
fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Went ahead and laid out the engraving for the inside of the blade. You can see it's going to be pretty gnarly. So what I need to give Carrie is delete the outside of the blade and just give him this file. It'll give him his tool path and he'll be able to put that into the CNC mill and get it carved.
For Katarina's daggers, we're actually going to do some deeper carving. It's not just going to be engraving. The CNC milling machine is going to take 4 passes. We're going to go about 40 thousandths deep.
This will give us a basic layout and give us the definition for where the edges are going to end.
Machinist
So we're
numbers.
gonna do a little side build on the
Yeah.
Katarina swords. We're gonna make 3 throwing daggers that she carries. We're gonna use 1075 steel because it's a great all-around tough steel for that kind of weapon.
Also making the swords and the daggers.
Yep.
Very cool.
That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Safety
Cool.
first.
Safety first.
Oh,
Trolled! Trolled!
Well played, sir.
I've been throwing knives since I was a kid, and it's just been always something I enjoyed. Now I get the chance to make them. That's one of the things that originally got me into blacksmithing and knife making was learning how to make weapons. 'Cause I've lost a lot of time throwing knives, throwing them around the woods and stuff over the years. So now I get to make my own and as many as I need. There's an old bladesmith saying, 10 minutes in the forge beats 2 hours at the grinder. You can see, taking time and care to forge these really close to finish, I only have about a few minutes on the grinder.
He starts at the 24 grit and moves all the way through the grits to 220.
Shit.
After grinding, Sam heat treats and then tempers Katarina's throwing darts.
Here the 3 throwing knives have come out of the temper oven where we tempered them at 450 degrees.
Nice.
Got the blade back from engraving. Looks awesome.
Damn.
Only thing we need to do is stick it in the forge, draw out the edge a little bit. I just want to see a little more thickness here. So I'm going to go ahead and edge bevel it. And,
Thank you, Glerms,
prepare
for hosting,
grinding.
dude.
In the game, all the edges, all the way around the blade are all beveled and sharp. So I'm going to go ahead and get to grinding on that. What I like to use is a pair of vice grips, clamp those on the tang. Not only am I hooking my thumb in the wheel to get some leverage, but I can also use this and twist and really add some torque. Gives me a lot more pressure and makes me grind a whole lot faster. This is getting to be pretty exciting, looking really wicked. It's gonna cause a lot of damage in the demo.
That is sexy.
Isn't it
I'm going to
just?
heat treat. I'm going to pass them off to Carrie to do that. And then Carrie's going to quench into water this time. Carrie's doing an agitated quench. What that means is when he goes in, he's moving that blade side to side and up and down to relieve any steam jacket that could be around that blade. If you get a steam jacket around the blade, that means the water's not actually cooling the blade.
Using our CNC plasma table, I'm going to cut out the guards for Katarina's swords from League of Legends.
After Carrie and I examined a lot of in-game art and some fan art, we decided this guard needs some overlays. John uses a plasma cutter to cut them out.
So I'm going to use the fly press to do some of the ornamentation for the guards for Katarina. I'm actually marking where we're going to be drilling for some rivets. I'll come in with a chisel and just lay in the 4 lines that you see on opposite sides of her guard.
John lines up the guard and the overlay to drill the rivet holes.
Apparently, True
Using a
says
domed
these
rivet
guys
set
made
and
Cloud's
vise,
Buster
Sam
sword.
rivets
Yeah,
the overlays
they did.
to the guard base.
Badass.
Now
Yep.
that the overlay and guard are already assembled, John's going to mount them.
Well, I think
swap them, and check the fit
you missed
on the
the
tang of the sword.
one where they made the knife, kitchen knife set for
Yeah.
Final Fantasy.
No, that was a different. That was a different
Oh,
one.
was it a different group?
That was a different
No,
group.
but I did see
Well,
that.
they got these guys to do the work.
I
Yes.
left the edges
Yes.
a little thick for heat
Yeah.
treat,
Still cool.
but now that we have the blades hardened, it's time to hone those in. I do that.
Yeah,
on
they
the
got them to make the
24
blades.
It's now time to polish these beautiful blades. I started at 120, moved to a 280, and then on to Scotch-Brite before buffing.
Like, they take real care in making these things. It's just amazing.
It's unreal.
John welds the guard and pommel onto the first blade. This gives us our first look at Katarina's deadly blades.
Now, do they do this for fun, or do they make
researching these
serious
weapons, I
money
actually
from
had
this?
to
Is this
add
like
Katarina
something
as a
they
champion.
choose to do, or is
Only
this like
played her in random.
This
a
is mo-
job
Now that I have
out
more
for
understanding
them?
of how
This
these
is a
weapons
job.
work,
They
I'll certainly
make
be
a
playing
good
them.
because they do props for movies. They do props for like they make good money. This type of stuff is a labor of love for them. That's all it is.
Yeah, those are sexy.
Now comes the fun part, the demo.
This is fun. Milk bags forever.
Take that milk.
Go, Grandma, go! Oh!
Yes.
Say bye-bye,
Click
tippers.
here to subscribe, or click
Okay, there we go. That is the making of Katrina's swords and daggers. I hope you guys in chat like that. If you do, I will definitely share some more of that good stuff when I come across it. One of the subjects.
Now-
Yes, go ahead.
So I don't play. What is this? League of Legends.
Yes.
Is Katarina like a badass character to play? And
Yes.
if not, I feel like she should be.
She is. You know, like the last Starfighter, was it the Death Lotus, or like that special ability that ship does? She basically has the same thing where she jumps in the middle of people and will start spinning and throwing daggers at everybody in the vicinity, and I've seen it kill a full pentakill, all 5 enemy people in one run. So she is very deadly if she's left to her own devices.
Yeah.
It's good to know.
Yeah. One of the stories we've been following in our show, and to catch Haas up a bit, the Magic Amy Lee saga that we've been talking about in regards to Hearthstone, and how she was being questioned by some fellow players as to whether or not she was 1 or 2 people. And it got quite nasty on Reddit. It got to the point that her team basically said, okay, we are going to investigate this. We're going to find out what the hell's going on. And was it Team Storm or Temple Storm is her team. And she said, I don't care, I quit. I don't,
Right.
This is just too much. So, Temple Storm did their investigation. They took 3 days, nonstop, looking at everything from, IPs that they could get their hands on, to conversations, to chats, to everything they could to try and confirm or, disprove this accusation. Now, the team's founder, Andu Renard Yannock, took to Reddit today and basically let loose. And this is what he had to say. Basically, I've never been so embarrassed. I've never actually been embarrassed to be a Hearthstone player before last week. All of you should be fucking ashamed of yourselves, and it's probably the biggest setback to getting women into esports that I can recall happening in the past year or two. You all make me fucking sick. Now, granted, Reynad does not have a good relationship with Reddit at all. They tend to go at each other. But they did a full investigation. They did. And they found out there was nothing to the claims. Nothing at all. So, in fact, these accusations have caused a top-notch Hearthstone player to quit. Okay? Now, he goes on to say, he also calls out Lee's accuser, including instigator Eric Specialist Lee and the two Diginatus pros, Lewis Blackout Spencer and Keaton Chalky Gill, as dipshits. He says, this girl, that's a pretty good Hearthstone player and made a lot of good content for the community, and everyone really liked her before dipshits 1 through 5 decided to start a witch hunt. Now her career is being scrutinized by Blizzard, by our team, by the entire community. Everyone is convinced she's a man. Now, I will put the link to this in chat so you can actually see, and there's a video of him letting loose. There's also a picture of Amy Lee. You can definitely see she's not a man.
Those lady boys are pretty convincing. No,
I was just thinking that.
sorry, I was on a Crow kick this afternoon, so we were talking about Crow and his lady boys. I'm sorry.
Even after a bunch of 14-year-old retards bully her out of the scene, they keep making jokes at her expense for like a week straight afterwards. It's actually disgusting if you think about it. You all make me fucking sick. I really mean that. And if something comes forward a month from now about her doing something scummy or something with botting, that was like one accusation we couldn't disprove or find evidence for or against, even then it's still scummy the way it was handled. I don't know, just everything about this makes me sick on so many levels. It's not just Reddit, it's Twitch too. It's literally everywhere that there's been posts about Amy everywhere. I'm sick of it. It's actually disgusting. Now, they've done their investigation. She's cleared, as far as they're concerned. Her team has cleared her. Blizzard hasn't said a word, and really, when it comes down to, two people using an account from different IPs, they would be the ones to be able to tell.
Aren't they the only ones who can actually even get that information?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Okay? They haven't said anything. There's been no word from Blizzard on this whole thing. But she's been cleared. But she's gone. A good Hearthstone player, someone who was good for the community, is now gone. To boot, she's a woman. Now, we talk a lot about bullying and stuff like that, when it comes to gaming, and especially when it's towards women. This to me it's a combination of bullying and a tactic to get rid of a competitor.
Yeah,
and if
threatened by her.
Yeah, if it is a tactic to get rid of a competitor, you guys are the most fucking scummiest little shits in the world. Period. If you cannot beat her on an even level playing field, then too fucking bad. Way to go, True. Yes, sure. Not a fucking chance. What do you guys like? You're sort of caught up now on this thing. What's your thoughts on this? You've heard the beginning. This is what the accusations were. You've heard what's been done, and you've heard the fallout. What's your thoughts on this?
I don't know. I kind of think it's bullshit. And I think a lot of it has to do with the threat level. There's a woman here. She's a pretty talented player. And you know what? I'm normally the one to just be like, who the fuck cares if it's a woman or not? If they're better than you, they're better than you. If they fit in the position, they fit in the position. If they're better in the role they play in whatever fucking game they're playing, then that's that. It doesn't matter if they're a woman or a man. So, because somebody brought up Blazing Angel? 144?
Blazing Angel.
Yeah. Angel. Oh, wow. All right. Because he starts talking about women in esports and like kind of forcing them into it, and I don't really think that's the case. Like, it's not even a matter of that. But when you do get a woman in there, you can't deny the fact that she's going to get trolled and harassed more than anybody else. And I don't understand why. And it's like there's this level of threat. Like, you don't have a peen, so you can't be better than I am. I am, just better than you in every way because I am a man. And I'm not even a feminist or like women's lib or anything like that. It just seems to be this thing. And so that's what I get out of this. It's a threat. So they figure, why don't we get her the fuck out however we can?
Thank you, Talk
they
Gaming,
trolled her.
for the donation, dude. Really appreciate it. Every little bit helps us continue this little project.
You know, somebody mentioned too, her team should have backed her, and she got singled out.
Well, no, here's the thing. Her team, she was not asked by her team to step down. Tempo Storm did not say to her, look, you got to take a break until we get this sorted out. They were behind her. She's the one that turned around and said, look, I've had enough of this shit.
Well, didn't they turn around and be like, yes, we're going to do like a full investigation rather than being, well, that's fair, but at the same time, it's kind of like, could you have backed her up a little while you were doing that? Like, we will do this for you, but we don't, like, to make a clear statement to, like, stand behind her.
Well, I think they did. They kind of did that twofold. Is that they, you know, they're behind their player, but, you know, because of the allegations, they still have to launch their own independent investigation just so
Did
to
they
save
make that
face.
clear?
The whole world gone crazy.
I believe they did, but maybe not so much on the support part of it. But when they, so I remember one of the articles mentioned previous that they said, you know, we're backing her, and that's the moment we found out that she bailed out. So, like, this kind of thing, it shouldn't happen to anybody, period. This kind of harassment, male, female, what have you, it's like, it's just, this is that 1% or the bad apple scenario of the gaming culture, and you know how toxic some people can be without really any concern about anyone else.
Thanks, Space Godzilla, for following. I appreciate it, dude. And lets us know we might actually be doing something right here. I would like to think that, you know, this is just a once-off type of thing. You know, you got a couple dudes that, you know, they're a little threatened by another player, and okay, she happens to be a woman, and they all decide, well, you know, let's try and nail her with some accusations, and, you know, make it difficult for her to play. But I don't think it's just a one-off. I think we'll be hearing more of this type of shit. And that makes me a little sad. What also makes me sad, and I know you did not see this last night, Haas, because you weren't here and you haven't seen the past broadcast. But people in chat, you remember we did the Power Rangers short film last night. And everybody loved it. The web absolutely loves it. The only people that don't love it is the Saban Capital Group, Power Rangers LLC, which is the company that owns the rights to Power Rangers, and they sent cease and desist, a takedown notice, to have the short film removed from Vimeo, where it was on the front page. There's been no word yet on whether or not YouTube has gotten a takedown notice, but probably will. So, in effect, Saban had said, you cannot show this video. This is violating our copyright. Now, the film's director wrote in a tweet earlier, Saban is trying to shut Power /Rangers down. If you like to keep watching, tell him to stop harassing me. Now, one of the people that I follow, they talked to an IP lawyer over this, okay? Because it's going to end up there's two things going to happen here. It's going to get taken down and it disappears, or it gets taken down and the director of the short has to file a complaint against Saban for misuse of the DMCA, in which case it will end up in court. Right? As the lawyer says, the question of who who would win this particular hypothetical lawsuit doesn't have a clear answer. Characters are copyrightable. The only way that characters are expressed, the way that characters are expressed are copyrightable when you go and put a video out without the copyright holder's permission. Then the question is going to come down to, is the work you are putting forward some sort of parody or commentary on the original work or the characters themselves? 9 times out of 10, that's what it will come down to in a court of law. And this is pretty well a basic question that every lawyer that deals with copyright has to go through when in law school. Before we get any further, what do you think about this? The fact that Saban has gone out and issued these takedown notices to Vimeo, and we will assume that it will be also issued to YouTube as well.
I think it's kind of underhanded, because there have been multitudes of fan projects and fan shorts, art, movies, what have you, that do stuff like this all the time. Maybe not as great of a production value, mind you, but it's still, like, this is one of the first ones I've heard of that's getting shut down like this pretty hard. I don't know. I just don't like this. It's going to set kind of a weird precedent, I think, if it goes through. At least completely having it shut down, because then you have whoever's doing these a lot of fan projects, whether it's a movie or game or what have you, can get shut down by companies because, hey, it's our IP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Haas?
Well, having not seen it and not really, like, I've seen it in my feed today. I didn't get to watch it, and then I saw it in the notes. I didn't realize you guys had talked about it, so I thought we were going to play the video, and I got really excited. So I didn't watch it, so I failed there. I could see it from different views, because, and it's funny, because it was just brought up that they should be jumping on it, to be honest. Like, they should be backing it let's bring Power Rangers back. Like I grew up on the fucking Power Rangers. I remember when it started. I remember when the Green Ranger came out, Rita and her monsters. Like, I remember the whole fucking thing. But I can almost understand why a company would jump on it preemptive. Like, they would just be like, you know what? I don't know what this is going to do. I don't know how this is going to work out. I don't know if it might tarnish us in some way. I could understand whether or not I agree with it, why somebody would put that out and just be like, no, you're not doing this. This is ours. Like, I don't know what the fuck you think you're doing, but we have to try to protect this in whatever way we can.
Now, somebody asked in chat, can they get away with a parody? Judo, you asked the question. That is one thing. What the lawyer goes on to say is, what if, he says, this is a law school exam type question. What if, on the other hand, you released a version of Gone with the Wind through the point of view of a slave on the story's plantation? That's fair use, as it provides commentary and in many ways parodies the original work. And you can actually buy a book based on that idea. So the question is whether the Power Rangers short is providing any commentary or parody. The interesting wrinkle is that the people online can't seem to decide whether the director was poking fun at hyper dark tales on kiddie subject matter or being serious. Is this a story in the world of the Power Rangers, or is it making fun of the idea of the ultra dark Power Rangers story? There's much in the gray areas. I could give an example. One could view this as a commentary, taking a broad view of this. You're taking a kid's cartoon and making it a darker short. And you could say, well, that's commentary on the copyrighted work and the characters. The copyright owner could make a really decent argument that says, well, no, what you are really doing is creating a new story with our copyrighted characters. We are the ones who have the sole rights to make derivative works. When it comes to the, where the hell was that? Because there was, I thought there was a part in here where they talked about it being a parody. I can't seem to find it now. Anyway, so yeah.
Well, doesn't the director turns around and says it's a very serious, like, he's like, it's a serious thing.
Yeah, okay, the director, Joseph Kahn, helped out to put it to rest when he gave an interview the day the short came out. What I really want to accomplish when you watch is that you could take it seriously. There's nothing playful except for maybe the hip-hop kiddo thing. Maybe a few little motivational character things, interactions and stuff. Overall, it's a very serious thing. The joke isn't that you're laughing at each particular scene. The joke is that we did this fuck you thing in the first place. You're going to look at it and you're going to go, wow, I can't believe they fucking did that.
So I'm wondering if he said that, like, in response to, well, like, is this, like, us making a Power Rangers movie, like, is it an absolute joke? Like, the fact that it's Power Rangers type thing? Because that was the most ridiculous, like, put together show from some other show I've ever seen. Or is he saying it as in, like, this is a serious project, like, this is a serious, like, thing that we've done?
I don't know.
Why are you huffing and breathing and, like, holding your head? Go ahead, say it.
Because you know what, it's
get it out.
The whole Power Rangers thing is derivative work off of someone else's intellectual property.
Right.
It's all based off of the same formulaic, episodic nature of Ultraman. Like, and all those Japanese shows, and that's where they got their inspiration for this, and it's literally the same.
From that.
No,
like,
it's the same. They fight a monster, a group of monsters. The monster grows. They transform or go into their Zoids and then get bigger and then beat the thing. And then it's the same damn thing every episode.
I may be wrong, but I think they actually took that from an existing, like, exact footage from an existing show and then put the teenagers in it. Which is why Rita has the really bad, dub when she talks and all the bad guys. Like,
I think that was on purpose. I think that was actually on purpose.
Because the fighting, because I think the Yellow Ranger is a girl in the show, but she doesn't have the ruffles on her suit. Don't ask me how I know all this. And I think that's because in the original show it was a dude, so that when she's fighting, she's the only one without the little lady ruffles or something. So in that case, they've actually taken it and then turned it into something of their own and been like, these are our Power Rangers, even though it's from a completely different, like, completely just taken. I could be wrong though. Yeah, see, they're from a Japanese show.
Yeah,
so they took that.
Yeah, but even still, the whole idea for Power Rangers itself was predated by something else altogether. Like Ultraman was the same thing. He beat up a monster. The monster grew. He grew. He beat up the monster again. Yay! Episode over. Rinse and repeat for the next one. That's one of the reasons I stopped watching, because I saw it. I'm like, it's the same thing every time. It's just no.
So
I mean, then do they even have the right to make the argument? That
doesn't matter. They already have the copyright. They already have the legal copyright for Power Rangers. The name, the characters, the brand. And when you made the point about them having to jump on this, you're absolutely right. Okay, this is something that's being missed here. When it comes to copyright and trademarks, okay, there is a caveat that says if you do not, by all legal means available, protect your brand, your copyright, your trademark to the fullest extent possible, you can lose that copyright or that trademark. Okay? So Saban actually had no choice but to do this. Now, the question is, what's going to happen in the follow-up? Are they going to turn around and say, okay, we've looked at it, we've seen what you're doing, we're cool with it, up it goes again? Because Vimeo's already said, if they get told that it's cool, it'll go back up on the main page. So really, this, up until the point where we find out exactly what the end result's going to be, Saban's done exactly what they have to do. The director of this is doing exactly what he has to do. And it's just basically going to be like, I don't like it. I don't like that it's having to go this route, but that's the law. That's the legalities around trademarks and IP. You just, that's why, people get carried away on all these. I don't like patent trolls. Don't get me wrong. I think patent trolls are the scummiest shits on the world. But legitimate claims or takedown notices by companies or trademark lawsuits are a fact of business life. You have to protect your IP. You have to protect your brand. Because if you don't, you can lose it. It's as simple as that. And there's been many examples of it through legal, history and companies, but I can't rhyme them off the top of my head, so don't expect me to. There's been talk about a remake of a Final Fantasy, the Final Fantasy Mythic Quest. Red, you put this one in here. Do you want to try and explain what's going on?
I saw this. I know Karida's not even going to acknowledge anything past Final Fantasy on this one, because, to be honest, this game was an abomination of the series. It was terrible, but there was a company that called themselves Dark Design Games. Apparently, they've been getting a buzz over the last little while, saying that they're working with Square Enix to release this project or a remake of this game. And they said this, Square Enix is preparing to release a remastered version of Final Fantasy Mystic Quest. But the article was written on GameSpot. I found it, and they reached out to Square Enix, and they said they got nothing to do with this. And the quote from them was, "We are aware of the Final Fantasy Mystic Quest HD remake project, and can confirm it is not a Square Enix project nor endorsed by Square Enix in any way. We take the protection of our IP very seriously and will be speaking with Dark Design Games to address this matter." So apparently the Dark Design's head, Jake Jackson, said in an email that Square Enix have their wires crossed a bit, and that Square Enix Europe has endorsed the product, but a rep for the publisher says it's not true. So,
but here's the thing. Here's a problem. They've got a website up where they are you can buy a pre-order of this game for $8.
Mm-hmm.
A pre-order. There's no game yet, and now we've suddenly got this kind of confusion as to who's actually, responsible for this game. I'm sorry, but I do not see Square giving up any kind of rights to anything to do with Final Fantasy.
I don't think so either.
Hell no.
If they were going to remake it, it's something that they'd handle themselves.
Oh yeah.
And plus, this alone, when you're getting Square Enix saying, "We know of this product and we have nothing to do with it," kind of a big red flag. I thought this was a joke Onion article for a second when I first saw the tagline. I'm like, no. And I clicked on it. I'm like, really? This game of all the Final Fantasies to remake, you want this one?
Oh.
And Karida will attest to it. This is the worst of the series ever.
Oh, apparently they've tried it before and were infecting people's PCs with viruses.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh.
So
what happens to all these people who have dished out all this money? Well, all this money, $8, but still.
They're fucked.
Don't expect to ever see it again.
No.
It fucking sucks. Let's just put another stain on the whole, let's pre-order games. Let's, it just kind of, even though it's kind of a little different, because it's okay, no-name company, we're doing, our own little thing over here, and then you find out it's a big red flag. But looking at, a legit site like that and being like, wow, this is kind of a cool idea. Maybe I want to pre-order something like this because I'm a huge Final Fantasy fan. And then it's just all right, bend me over, that's fine. It just sucks.
But you know what? As far as I'm concerned, if it says Final Fantasy in the title and it's not made by Square, don't trust it.
Yeah.
Period.
Hey,
Ever.
$8 is $8, Legendary. Just saying.
Hey, that's $8. It's half of an hour of work of my hard-earned labor on landscaping. I ain't wasting it on bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Who are the Smite players here? Who's the Smite players in the house? Okay, we got 2 of you here. Okay.
And
Yeah.
Giotto in chat, I know for sure.
Yeah, and Giotto, and I think Karaita's a Smite player as well. Well, you've got a new god coming with the
She came.
Yeah, she came.
Already in. Yep.
She already in. The new Battle Frost patch has introduced the first new god of the season in the form of Bellona. The warrior class goddess will specialize in physical and melee combat and is the first god capable of disarming basic enemy attacks via her Scourge ability. We do have a video of her, so we will play that.
She's like one of the best looking gods they have. I'll tell you that.
Okay, all right. I will be the deciding factor on that.
All right.
All right. Okay, here we go.
Welcome to the Smite God reveal for Bellona, Goddess of War. Bellona, the Goddess of War, took no time to build temples or gather worshippers. She favors only those for whom war is life. For that is where she thrives. Not on the steps of hallowed basilicas or in whispered prayers, but in the blood-soaked mud among the breathless, armored troops in the roar of victory. When Rome was young, Bellona ran with her armies, conquered her enemies, made her strong. As Rome aged and began to crumble, she fought only with her strongest and most cunning of worshippers, Lucius Cornelius Sulla. Sulla rose through the ranks by accomplishing impossible deeds of heroism and ruthless prowess. His enemies feared him, his soldiers loved him, and everywhere he went, Bellona rode with him. Together, they quelled the Germanic hordes. They broke the social war. They sacked Athens. Sulla was utterly undefeatable, and it was the goddess of war that made him so. But the Roman Senate moved to displace Sulla and end his rise to glory. March on Rome, Bellona quietly urged, and you shall rise as no other. Emboldened, Sulla commanded his legions and took the city streets. Bellona at the fore, slaughtering the gladiator slaves that stood against them. The Senate buckled. They cast the vote. Sulla became the first lifelong dictator of Rome. During Sulla's reign, Bellona was worshipped for the goddess she was. But Sulla had grown old. His wars were over. Bellona moved on, and Rome forgot. But the forgotten are not gone. Gods clash in titanic conflict. It is in war she thrives. No one will forget Bellona, the goddess of war, this time. Bellona's passive is
I like
called
how they
Master
break this
of War.
down into the
Upon
different parts
giving or
of the
receiving
character.
hits from basic attacks,
Very
Bellona
nicely
gains
done.
protections and
Well, that's the one thing I
movements.
like about Smite is they're using
Her first ability is
actual
called
gods from different
Shield
pantheons.
Dash. Bellona
So like the
dashes
Greeks,
forward
Romans,
and bashes
Aztecs,
her
Norse
shield,
mythology,
dealing
everything.
damage and slowing enemies.
That's the one major
Bellona
draw for the game.
absorbs all damage from a single basic attack and reflects a portion of the damage around her. Bellona then makes basic attacks with a sword and shield. Her second ability is called Bludgeon. Bellona summons a hammer and spins, hitting every enemy around her and then smashing forward in an overhand attack. Bellona now makes basic attacks with her hammer until out of combat. Every hammer attack hits all enemies in melee range. Bellona's third ability is called Scourge. Bellona deals damage to all enemies in a line. Enemies hit or disarmed and cannot make basic attacks. Bellona now makes basic attacks with a Scourge, which has extended range, and every third attack heals her. Bellona's ultimate is called Eagle's Rally. Bellona plants a Roman flag, granting protections and increased physical power to allied gods. Enemies directly under the flag take damage and are stunned. In this first fight, Bellona comes into the left lane to gank the enemy Apollo and Nox. Leaping in with Eagle's Rally, she stuns both targets, getting the additional bonus damage with the Bludgeon's AoE. She slams down the hammer for a double kill. In this second fight, Bellona pushes right lane against the enemy Mercury and Bakasura, getting interrupted by Mercury's special delivery. Bellona uses Shield Bash to escape into the jungle and lure the two assassins. Using Scourge to disarm Bakasura's basic attacks, Bellona counters with a few more attacks as Bludgeon's AoE damage takes down the Great Devourer. Gaining level 5, Bellona puts a skill into Eagle's Rally to stun Mercury as a few additional basic attacks and a Shield Bash secure the kill. In this final scenario, Bellona heads toward the jungle to aid her ally, Bastet. Initiating with Eagle's Rally, she stuns Apollo. Following up with Shield Bash to slow him, she uses Bludgeon to secure the kill. Turning back towards Sylvanus, Bellona combines her basic attacks with Scourge to disarm the nearby gods as Sylvanus falls. Activating Greater Sprint and further closing the distance with Shield Bash, Bellona activates Bludgeon to help her secure the kill. As the goddess of war, Bellona's battle lust reigns supreme in the front line. Starting her off with Bludgeon can provide an early level clear as well as AoE damage. Next, picking up Shield Bash can provide Bellona with additional damage as well as a mini dash when in tight spots. From there, the priorities shift to Eagle's Rally, Bludgeoned, Scourge, Shield Bash.
No.
The father of the frost giants, Emir, receives a texture update.
That was randomly put in.
Yeah, really.
Hey, Ymir!
Thanks for watching the Smite God reveal for Bellona, goddess.
All right, I am not the Smite player. I've tried playing it. I cannot do it. But you guys are obviously the Smite players. And in chat, what do you think? Talk about it. Get the blood boiling. What is this? How good is this? And should Smite players just be jumping all over the place wanting to play this character?
Well, I'm deferring to Giotto because him and I had a discussion this morning over Skype about this character because he actually's got a chance to play her and she's overpowered apparently.
Absolutely.
So I haven't played Smite in like 2 weeks, so I'm out of the
I
loop.
did a practice round with her, but I find that whenever they release a new god, it's fingers on the trigger for anybody who wants to play her. So if you go into a match with a bunch of people you don't know, you don't happen to have a full 5-player team, somebody's jumped on that. Like, you have absolutely no chance. Like, they know where she is. She's right on top, right there, new god, boom, locked in, you're done. But I did practice with her. So she is they're going to adjust her. She is extremely overpowered.
So she'll get nerfed.
No, they'll
rebalance.
Yeah. Because I think wasn't Al Kwong OP before they changed it to what is it? Ku Clan or whatnot. Ku Clan.
Yeah, as Giotto says, a flying feather duster.
Yeah.
Which is the god. That's my favorite, but.
But I think that it's even with League of Legends that tends to happen is the champion usually when it first comes out, it's very strong until they kind of really like Riot and Hi-Rez will take a new champion or god and watch them being played in overall and with other public games so they can see if they're like where their power is a little too high or where it's too low. So it's always the thing with bringing out a new champion is there has to be a rebalancing after the release because you're almost always overpowered.
Yeah. So from what I understand, if we want a little bit of tech talk, because somebody was actually talking to me about her earlier, so this is what was said to me. Let's see. All right, so she is OP. Her first passive ability, completely. You gain movement, speed, and protection for up to 5 stacks on a hit. She can disarm. Her ultimate is another AoE stun. So she has 3 forms of CC, plus she can gap close anyone that tries to run away with her movement speed passive. So pretty much she's just like boss. She's fun to play too. I mean, when you practice with anything, you feel like a fucking ninja, because when you play against the AI, it's just, you'll have games you'll never have those kinds of games in real life. But
yeah, it's like stomping a mud hole and walking it dry.
Dude, yeah, first time I got, because I had never played a MOBA, so like they were trying to get me into it, and they'll tell you I was really horribly fucking bad. And they were like, yeah, you got better. But I'd go into a practice arena and I'd be like, look at me, I'm a fucking boss. And then I'd go and I'd play and I'd be like, why did I just eat my own asshole? Like, what happened? And it's because that's just how it is. And so it takes a while. But like getting you, she's a lot of fun. I have a feeling that once I get the hang of her, I would enjoy her very much.
Yeah.
So.
Alrighty, we're gonna take a 5-minute break here, folks. Guys, refresh the drinks and kind of stretch the old bones, because they get sore sitting here that long. But if you've enjoyed what you've seen so far, if you're new to the channel and you like what you're hearing, you're liking the discussion in chat, because we try and keep it decent and enjoyable. Consider hitting that old follow button, somewhere down around in there. Just let us know we're doing something right. But for now, we're going to take a 5-minute break, and we'll turn the music up a little bit, and we will see you in 5. Okay. And we're back.
That was the most delightful thing I've ever sat and watched for 5 minutes straight. So if I get up in the next hour to pee, I apologize, but I couldn't get out of my seat.
And all I have to say is, that's not a knife. This is a knife.
Oh, show off, yes.
I hate you.
man.
I hate you.
I'm sorry, I saw that today, and I was like, I couldn't help it. I had to throw it in as the intermission goodie.
Oh my god.
Yes.
That was perfect.
Yes.
That was beautiful. I thought it was a woman, too, actually. So when I saw the knife come out, I was like, no, I don't know. And I was so thankful, because I didn't know. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that breast didn't, like, slap me in the head. Oh.
Yeah, like I said, I couldn't resist putting that in just to, like, I said this last night, and I'll say it again tonight just so people have a chance to weigh in on this. I have every once in a while, I come across some really what the fuck kind of shit stuff in videos. And I was asking if, I asked chat because, like, you guys, it's too bad. If you don't want to watch it, you're stuck anyway. But if in chat, you would really like to see one night a week where I play some of the best that I've found through the week of what the fuck, use the hashtag WTF yes, and hammer that in chat. And if I see enough of them, we'll devote one night, maybe a Saturday or Sunday night when it's slow on news, and we'll do a what the fuck night and have some fun.
Oh.
Anyway, while we're on the subject of what the fuck, Dying Light's out, and you know how every game these days has these premium packages that you can buy into.
Dying Light is the game that you love, correct?
I haven't played it yet. I was
so
interested.
What am I thinking of?
You're thinking of probably Homefront or
Something light. No?
The Long Dark.
Long Dark. See,
Yes.
I was thinking. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, just
Yeah.
kidding.
Yeah.
All right. So
Anyway,
Dying Light. Apologize.
There is an edition of Dying Light you get called the My Apocalypse Edition. Okay. Now the price tag for this Apocalypse Edition is just a little steep, just a little bit. If you're in England, it will cost you £250,000. If you are in the US, it will cost you $387,000. And you heard me right.
That motherfucker better come with an all-terrain vehicle with a fucking gun strapped to the top.
Wait,
for me.
This gets good. Okay. Now, I just want to repeat that one price, the US price, because that's what we are. $387,000 for one particular edition of Dying Light. Now that's sunk in. Okay, so what do you get for that $387,000? Well, you get your face in the game. Yeah.
I like how the picture on this has like one of the, what is that, a zombie monster thing?
Yes.
And it's like, let's put your face on this horrible thing that we're going to kill.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You'll get zombie survival parkour lessons. Is that?
That's clutch.
That's clutch. That's clutch. Okay. You'll get. Let me see what else is. You get 2 Razer headsets.
The Tiamat.
Yeah, the Tiamat headsets. Is that kind of bringing the price up, worth value up a little bit?
Worth value, no.
No? Okay. How about if we throw in a human-sized volatile to deter human raiders? In other words, you've got a human-sized stuffed thing in your living room to keep human raiders away from your home.
Somebody said you can get this on G2A for $100,000.
Nicely done, Mower. Nicely
beautiful.
done. Nicely done.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
All right, so this is what comes in the whole thing. You've got your zombie avoidance parkour license with Ampa Sound, the team behind the Internet Smash Dying Light Parkour POV series. Be the zombie match with the devs where you win so you can brag to your friends how elite you are. You get your face skinned into your Night Hunter character model. You get Dying Light branded night vision goggles plus adult diapers for the night portions of the game. Now remember, we're talking
real thing.
Yes, we're talking $387,000 here, folks. So we're trying to raise the value up a little bit.
They must be lined with gold.
Yes. You get 4 signed Steelbox editions of Dying Light, so I guess you can give some to your friends, because you just spent $387,000. What the hell, eh? You get 2 top-of-the-line Razer Tiamat headphones, in case you want to play with a partner, and a human-sized volatile figure to use as a deterrent on human raiders. But the big one is a custom-built zombie-proof shelter. A custom-built Dying Light zombie home built by Tiger Log Cabins.
I think the other one too. I think we missed one as well. You
No,
get a trip. The trip to
yeah.
Techland.
Yeah, you get you get a trip to Techland Wars, Warclaw, Poland, to meet the dev team and party with Steve the zombie consultant.
Yay! I'm so amazed and excited for this. Even though it's going to cost $1 million in Canada with the exchange rate right now.
You guys are speechless. I love it. You're speechless. Not only did I get you with the intermission, but now I've got you speechless with this.
What?
I wasn't speechless. I was laughing my ass off for 5 minutes. That's why my face is red. This really a Dying Light zombie home.
Yeah. It's a log cabin. It's even better. It's not just a home. It's a zombie-proof log home bunker.
Does it tell you how big it is? Wait a minute. Does it give you like dimensions?
No.
Because shit, I'm gonna be spending that much money. I'm living in that log cabin, so it better be big enough to, live in.
Here's the link for chat, so you can enjoy that as well. There you go, folks. Let me just check and see if in the other post they've got any measurements. No measurements on the house. Now, okay. Now, here's what they say. The piece de resistance is a fortified zombie apocalypse-proof house built to order by Tiger Log Cabins, which will include live-in amenities, an escape hatch, arsenal storage, and an upper deck for sniping vantage points. It also has a TV, Xbox One, and an awesome sound system. But no mention of a generator, which you would obviously need if you're fighting zombies.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, I've already got my zombie-proof plan. I take over the entire 18-floor apartment building, kill everyone inside, and take the whole thing myself and barricade in.
God damn, I'm staying away from you. Fucking scary man. You are a scary man. No.
You can take the top floor. Everyone here can
You've
take
already
the top
said
floor
you were going to kill everyone in your building. I do no longer trust you. You're the guy who
Trust
we're
me.
hungry. You look like you're getting a little fat. Ugh. Yeah.
Trust me, there are a lot of undesirables in this apartment building that won't survive elsewise anyways, so we're just making the inevitable quicker for them.
You are a scary man. Yeah, he's got a knife too, right?
Well, he's got a fucking sword is what he's got.
That's all pretty much a katana.
Yeah. Like,
Nope.
Come on now.
I am so curious as to why they did this. And they're obviously making money off of it.
Marketing. Pure and simple. Marketing.
But why so big? And actually, I kind of want to get a notification, like something to tell me when somebody's actually purchased one of these. I want to know, because somebody will. Some rich motherfucker is going to be like, I want my kids to have, this fucking bunker and all of these cool things, even though if I thought about it like a logical human being, it would make absolutely no rational sense. Why not? I have to spend my money. Let's do it. And I want to know who buys one of these, because they'll probably sell one, I would guess.
I would think so, but I think that the main thing is like about a third or a quarter of the price is the shelter itself. Like,
what?
200,000. Well, there
250,000.
Depending on how small
they're saying one of the two articles we have that the custom built zombie fortification cabin, which normally costs about $100,000. So, okay, you look at housing, like at least in this area, newer housing on the cheap end is like
wait, you're being too fucking logical about something. Stop!
Mr. Beard says the bunker is legit and it's very nice inside. Hi, Mr. Beard.
Okay.
So,
stop being logical.
If Mr. Beard can tell me if he knows how big it, about maybe, is it like a normal, maybe 500 square foot thing, or are we talking about mini home type stuff?
It's a log cabin, so you're looking at probably...
That doesn't mean shit to me. I don't live in the woods. I don't know how big log cabins are. I'm not from Canada.
Ooh!
Eh?
Hey, get it right. We got igloos up here.
Yes. Igloos. Those snowy homes. Alright, to go, let's just get out of the craziness for a little bit. And not that this is any saner, but Sims 4 has got some new trailers for their Get to Work DLC that's coming. And one of the ones they've got is where you can play where your character can be a detective. Now, I'm not sure how thrilling that is, but you get to see right now.
Pack. You control your Sims at their workplace. Let's take a deep look at the gameplay around one of our new active careers. The police station is at the center of the detective career. Here your Sims will pick up new cases, book suspects, and work with their fellow officers to solve crimes. Once your Sim has been assigned a case, their work begins at the crime map. From there, they'll hit the streets and start working their case. At a crime scene, you'll control your Sim as they hunt for evidence. Pinging the ground reveals hidden clues. Being thorough will aid your Sims in their investigation. It's smart to have your Sims take photos, collect evidence, and interview an eyewitness or two. Back at the station, your Sim can begin to process the evidence they've collected. As the clues pile up in the crime database, your detective can begin to connect the dots. With their suspect identified, it's time for your Sim to issue an APB. Make an arrest, bring in a suspect, and book 'em. Smile, creep. At the interrogation table, your Sim can use various techniques to break a suspect. Play good cop or bad cop, and close the case. Solving crimes, walking the beat, and keeping the neighborhood safe will help your Sim earn their next promotion as they rise in rank from bumbling cadet to chief of police. In the Sims 4 Get to Work expansion pack, with new active careers and new experiences, you can play with life in an entirely new way.
Oh.
The Sims 4 Get to Work is available in April.
And there you have it. The Sims expansion pack. Anybody? I'm sorry. I don't care. I really don't care. But you know what got me? You know what got me? Was that very first frame of the female sim cop, and she did this chest thrust.
Oh, yeah. Oh, how about that local sports team?
Yes, the old chest thrust. But you know what I have to go with that? How about some giant anime cosplay boobs?
Wait a minute. So you just totally just skipped over Sims because you don't give a fuck. You just want to play that video.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the fact that this get a job shit is $40 for the DLC and how Sims are like they're known for doing that?
Well, yeah, but that goes without saying.
Is that just cool? That
no, it's not.
All right,
cool.
let's talk about boobs.
Let's talk about boobs.
All right.
Okay.
I was waiting for this one actually, so I'm okay with this.
You're
like Origin and stuff. I suck at Sims. For some reason I can't play it, but
yeah, $40 private more. Yeah, $40 for a DLC where you can have jobs. Violi, boobs.
He's like,
yes,
done, boobs.
Yes, boobs. And to boot, I will throw the link in chat in just a minute. While we talk about it first. Do you see these honkers in this article?
They're pretty impressive.
They're pretty impressive, to say the least. Twitter user named Chiru made these giant prosthetic anime-style boobs for use with cosplay costumes. I guess this cosplayer bought a pair, or maybe is this Geekology? This has got to be Geekology. Yes, yep. Yes, okay. That explains that. All right. But anyway,
While you're laughing, I'm going to put the link in chat.
Okay. Oh yeah, you can't. Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
He's not. Yeah, I will do it out of kindness of my heart so that people can enjoy the artwork of fake anime boobs.
I'm just sad.
There you go. Yeah, I beat you. Anyway, Name True estimates the fake's breasts to be around E or G cups, which are plenty big enough to double as neck pillows on a long flight.
No, those are goddamn big. Like that's yeah. Okay.
Whipping giant fake tits out of on Carry On. Like
yes. I need to search your bag.
Oh, which one? Lefty or righty?
It's like a backpack. Like turtle shell things coming out of the back. You got all your clothes stuffed in there.
It's the return of the 80s and 90s shoulder pads.
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
I am very distinguished now.
You Moore says, is it bad that I recognize one of these outfits from an anime? No.
Are the boobs really that big, Mower?
Yeah, tell us, Mower. Are they that big? Are they that big?
No wonder, like, people get into these games. Like, look at that.
Like, that would be, you gotta admit, that one with the black cups, if you want to call them that, is, like, that's pretty impressive in size.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So what do you think?
Wow.
Anybody gonna order a set?
Oh, I've already got one on order.
You do?
No.
Oh, shit. Damn!
But if I ordered a pair and send them to your house, would you wear them on stream for one night?
No.
Oh. Man.
Listen, you tried to get me with pink hair, now you want me with big tits. What are you trying to do to me?
It's funny, actually, because talking about boobs, when we were playing Smite, I was talking about how the interface looks, like, really nice, and they do, like, this little dance scene in the, like, before you start playing or whatever, as it's flipping through the screens or whatever, and all I could look at was, who was it?
Probably Neath.
Neath's boobs. And I was like enthralled. I actually said something to the people in TeamSpeak when we were waiting for everybody to join up, and I was like, I can't stop looking at her boobs.
Wait to
and
see
like her what?
Her victory dance. That stupid cat ear stupid thing.
No. Let's be proper here. That is the proper use of breast physics.
Correct, sir.
And that is a thing in the game industry. Breast physics.
Smite boob physics.
All right, let's
I mean, well, here's the thing, though. All right, so they've been talking about all the cosplay harassment, which, I mean, is and isn't a thing. They're very aware of it now, and there are signs, and there are people who are just like, fuck off as soon as they see anything like that. But I could see a lot of these, like, characters have just boobs hanging out. So how, like, this is kind of one way to solve that problem without
What?
having to really
Fake
expose
boobs?
yourself. Being able to cosplay properly without having your tits hang out. If I wanted to dress like one of these characters, I would never walk out like that. But if I had fake boobs like that, I probably would, because I wouldn't actually be naked, and it would be funny. It would be like a conversation, like, do they feel real? Like, it's less invasive, maybe. I don't know.
And there's another side too. That I think it kind of makes me giggle a little bit. But the very bottom, the last line of the article is, "Thanks to my buddy Michael V, who is currently wearing 2 pairs, one in the front and one in the back." So, kind of funny, but you know what? There is a lot of gender bending in cosplay. So people who are transsexual, or however they, or poly or whatever, that could do the gender bend cosplay and then use these to get that feminine look too. So there's a lot of potential, but it's just unnecessarily huge.
Yeah, kinda. Like, don't get me wrong, I like a good set of boobs, alright? There's something very, very enjoyable about them, either from just an aesthetic point of view to, maybe more.
On the flip side, there is something very enjoyable about a bad set of boobs.
There is? Where?
Oh,
How?
Have you ever seen bad cleavage? Because if you haven't, I can take you to some places and I can school you out.
And how the fuck is that enjoyable?
Exactly. I'm just saying, I'm giving you the flip side. They exist.
I know they do, and I run every time I see them.
It's entertainment on a different level, kind of like the people of Walmart style.
And I run like fucking nuts when I see them. I'm out of there. No. Anyway, let's get back to some gaming shit. Like Batman.
We're doing that a lot.
I know, it's fun. It's all part of the joy. The Batman Arkham series for video games is probably one of the best of the Batman games we've ever seen. Like, it is dark, it's gritty, it's well done. And the next one up is Batman Arkham Knight, which is supposedly the final game of the series. Okay, that's after this one, it's done. They have released a trailer for it, which I'm gonna quickly show up for you guys so you can have a look at what's coming for Batman Arkham Knight, and we can talk about it after it's done. See what you think.
It started with a meeting. Everyone was there. Scarecrow said he had a plan, that together we could take you out. And Gotham would be ours.
Over my dead body.
I believe that was the idea.
Remnants of Gotham, I have messages for you all. To the vandals who stayed behind to pick the still warm flesh from Gotham's bones, have your fun. You are under my protection. To the cowards quaking behind the police department's walls, you will not be spared. And to Batman, I have already won. safety you provided was worth. And when the dawn comes, when Gotham lies in ruin and I turn my gaze to the world beyond, the legend of the Batman will be worth nothing at all.
And there we have the trailer, probably the first of many that will come along for Batman Arkham Knight. What do you think?
That looked awesome. I actually just picked my job with the uppercut the guy into the air and the cannon in the Batmobile just blows him away. I'm like, like, did I just see that?
Yes, Private Moore, that was Scarecrow. That was at the end. That was Scarecrow. He's the big baddie. He's the one that's coming to take down Batman this time around. And he's got friends. We saw, who do we see there? We saw Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy,
Two-Face.
Joker, Two-Face.
The whole damn crew.
Was Penguin in there? I don't think I
Riddler.
saw. Riddler was there. Joker was there, but I don't remember seeing Penguin in there.
I don't think so either. I must have blinked when Joker was there because I missed that.
It was a
feel
very,
like I should watch that again.
very
I-
short scene.
I can't remember if he died in the last one or if it was the dupe.
Anyway, so I've never played the Batman series, like the Arkham series. But I gotta tell you, after watching that, and now that it's there, I'm gonna probably watch any more that come out. I thought I saw him blazing. I could be very wrong.
Mower says Penguin was in there.
Was he? Okay, I didn't. I'll have to watch it again because I didn't see him. Oh, Blazing said Joker dies in Arkham City.
Yeah, I remember watching the end bit and dead.
What do you think, guys in chat? Is this going to be your fix for, like, do you like it? What do you think? Because I know that I'm probably going to have to take a very serious look at it, and if I like it, I might even have to go back to the first two. Because I know they got a lot of good words about them. Like, the graphics are incredible. The apparently the fighting style, like the combat is very good. It might not look like it, but it is very good. The story's there. Like, all the parts you need for a good video game are there.
Yeah, I hear a lot of really good things about the entire series as a whole.
Have you never played it either?
No.
No.
It's been one of those where other games were on my radar a lot higher than these were. But I still took a look at gameplay videos and regretting the decision sometimes, but not always my style.
I know I missed the name there, but whoever just followed, thank you very, very much. Appreciate
the legendary Marix.
The legendary Marix. Thank you, dude. Appreciate it. I think I have to lengthen that text field for it to show up properly because it was a little long. Yeah, it's...
I've never played it either, but I remember having roommates who waited and literally hibernated in their bedrooms when the new games would come out and not leave until they were done. Legitimately just, I'm going to get food, going to the bathroom, going to play Batman again. So I'm just not a Batman, Superman, Spider-Man type person. So
You're what?
I don't really get.
You're what?
I told you I like comics. I've never gotten into the big, like Marvel or DC. It's more. We've talked about this.
I know. I'm still disappointed.
So, I mean, introduce me to a good one. Get me into a series, and I'll get on it. But
Dark Devil. Jesus Christ. Daredevil. Daredevil is anything where he's in, like, just doing his shit in Hell's Kitchen. Awesome stuff. What other? I'm trying to think of another good. Like, I'm not big into the Batman and Superman franchise of comics either. Like, I go more for the Green Arrow, the The Longbow series was awesome. Trying to think of some of the other ones, but no, I generally go for like Dark Horse, Dynamite, those imprints. Yeah, Image.
Image is a big one.
Yeah, I like a lot of their stuff. Dark Horse, I think Dark Horse though now is becoming too popular, and it's kind of losing its touch that it had for so many years. Because Dark Horse was the Dark Horse of the comic industry, and it put out some fucking incredible stuff. I think was it and the Angelina series where about the no, that wasn't Dark Horse. Anyway, I'm just trying
a lot of people are excited for Harley in this story. On a side note,
why is that?
Harley Quinn is
I love
fairly is a fairly popular character.
Well, she's actually going to start coming into her own, both I think on what is the one the Arrow, because they've introduced the Suicide Squad in Arrow. And Harley Quinn was one of the characters in the jail cells. Now the other one is the Suicide the Suicide Squad movie that's coming out. They've cast Angela, the Waller character. They've cast all the characters like Deadshot and the other ones, and Harley Quinn's in that one as well. So she's definitely coming into her own as far as a character, and I think we'll probably end up seeing more of her in Comic Land even.
Well, True brought up she's a popular cosplay, and I could tell you when I went to New York Comic Con, I could count her. You can't even count her. They're everywhere.
Yeah.
They're and Poison Ivy, and Wonder Woman. Those were like the three biggest.
Yeah.
So when I started to see other cosplayers that weren't those three is when I started to notice, because after a while you're just like, okay, there's only so many, and you'll see like a really good one, and you're just like, holy shit. But other than that, it's kind of like, okay.
It's hit and miss.
Axor, no fucking spoilers, dude. None. I don't want to hear it.
Or okay? You are banned.
You are literally, I will ban you for 8 hours. You're done. I haven't seen it yet. So don't go there.
Or Vikings.
Oh, Vikings, there's an awesome show. Have you watched,
I watched the first episode of the new season so far. I actually just watched it this afternoon, finally.
See, I need to catch up, because I've watched, I think, the first 2 seasons and then just kind of lost it.
It's just started the 3rd season. Just started.
Well, then I didn't finish the second one.
Okay.
Because I know I was behind, and then I moved and
lost it. For being on the History Channel, which is kind of apropos, because, it's Vikings, never possibly expected them to come out with a series as powerful and as good as this.
Absolutely not.
Yeah,
never saw it coming.
I think I've said this before, but Lagertha is, aside from Ragnar, Lagertha is like one of my favorite characters, as well as Floki.
Oh, Floki's an insane
love him though. Like it's that insane where you don't know what he's going to do. He's that unstable insanity.
You're always on your toes with him.
Yeah, and then, I'm not going to say anymore because if there are people who haven't watched up to the end of season 2.
Yeah,
I'll leave it.
Like how do you describe Vikings? It's like an action show. It's history.
Political intrigue.
It's political intrigue.
The only issue I have with it is it seems to go too fast, if that makes sense. I feel like there is so much story that's not being told.
You're wrong, Nick. You're wrong.
Oh, I thought you were talking about. I was like, whoa.
No, go ahead. I just wanted.
It's definitely. Don't even get into Game of Thrones because I'm like, yeah, we're all, I think, most of us anyway, Game of Thrones freaks, and it is very different. But I feel like there's just so much that they could put in there that they're not. I feel like they're kind of getting it through to get just the time in, and then they're cutting a bunch. Like, I don't know. That was the only issue I had with Vikings. I feel like there could be so much more that they're not adding into it.
Well,
Does that make sense?
yeah, it does, but you've got to look at what they're trying to do with, like, they're bringing a whole society, race to life that's never been brought to life before. Like, we've never seen a show like Vikings before. Never.
Yeah, the one that's got a lot of historical fact in it that's accurate. It's still entertaining.
Yeah.
And really well written. Like I said, I don't want to get too much into specifics because I don't know how much people have seen. I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. But there are certain things where the historical accuracy is slightly off, but close.
It is the History Channel.
But yeah, it's when I heard this came on the History Channel, I'm like, I love Vikings culture in general. So I'm going to walk into this tentatively because I don't know how well they're going to do with it. And I watched first episode and hooked.
Done. Yeah.
That's it. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm over.
Because, in my opinion, I used to watch the History Channel all the time. I feel like they're kind of, I wouldn't say they're completely swaying from, like, history, but they're kind of, they're taking a lenient stroll down a side. So when I first saw the thing for Vikings, I was like, oh, this is going to be silly. Well, that was my first impression.
I think what happened is, and it happened with a lot of the cable stations like Sci-Fi and you know, TLC. Yep. TLC's still a fucking loss, you know. But they got bit by the reality show bug, okay? Because it was quick, easy money. Now, Sci-Fi is coming back around, and they've made a commitment to go back to their science fiction roots. They made a strong commitment to it, and they are slowly doing that. And I'm wondering if maybe the same thing, like we've seen with Vikings, we might not see happen also on the History Channel, where they might, like, what other, I don't even know what other era they could do a similar show on. They could be as powerful. Like, the thing about Game of Thrones is, it's all well and fine, but it's a fantasy world. It does not exist in a real world, okay? And it's a fantastic show. I love Game of Thrones. It's a great show. The thing about Vikings is, it's based in our world. It happened in our world. And it can be verified. It can be fact-checked to a certain point, depending on how close they stay to it. And I think that's where it's such a great show that is different. That's just, you know.
And like I would say they can go back to the Arthurian legend with Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, but that's been overdone over the years.
Yeah.
With, like, you know, like, and
to be honest, that's still fantasy.
Yeah.
There is no, like, Merlin. Like, did Merlin even really exist, or was he just a figment of some storyteller? Right?
Right.
You know, King Arthur, did he really pull a sword out of the stone? Come on now. Okay.
Yeah, and even like the Braveheart with William Wallace wasn't exactly historically accurate either. It was really a trumped up story, but it's still something that happened. It was the person who lived and breathed and died in this world. So something that's on the level of Vikings in terms of production quality, story, and historical fact checking, it's going to be hard to reproduce.
Yeah.
I think the only thing you can do is maybe look at other, you know, for us, exotic cultures, like going into the farther east, like the Japanese or Chinese, some of those cultures that, you know, we don't get too much exposure in deep-rooted history.
Yeah. Okay, bring it back to games again.
Yeah, sorry. Derail.
That's cool. I love it. It's all geek. It's all good stuff, man. Back in the Final Fantasy world, where we've got some kind of rumors about Final Fantasy 15, in which Hajime Tabata, he made some rather interesting comments about the upcoming title. He said, they've added shocking, even brutal moments into the game's main story mode. He said this was something they felt they had to do after he worked on Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII. Spoilers below, folks, so if you don't want to hear this, okay? The shocking scenes in Crisis Core relate to the origins of Sephiroth, Cloud, and Zack. Cloud and Zack are subjects of experiments by Professor Hojo. Sephiroth, Hojo's biological son, is himself an experiment. The backdrop to this involves many deaths, including the deaths of Angiel and his clones, and the end of Zack himself. If Tabata says that Final Fantasy 15 will be shocking, even brutal, then we can expect some really heavy story coming up in the game. On the side, Tabata thought that of ways to control the violence in the game's content, they were considering adding a menu where players could literally adjust the blood count. They also thought of using DLC to adapt the game's rating the way that as with Evil Within. Final Fantasy players, what do you think of this kind of departure from, I guess, softcore violence into hardcore violence, or a storyline that is definitely, you know, a little darker, a little harder?
For me, Final Fantasy, the story is, like a pubescent boy over here. The story is like the strongest thing. I can still sit here and talk about Cloud and Sephiroth and Hojo and just like the original stories, and they just keep, like, they're just so great, and that's what I love about that series. It's very solid, and I think that if they were to do this and kind of keep it as, you know, like a higher rating to bring darker elements, if they can keep that story solid, I think that's a cool idea. I do.
Yeah, you know, sometimes it feels like they're not, like, some of the Final Fantasies weren't very, like, weren't gritty enough. Like, they were a little too, happy-go-lucky, it's all beautiful and pretty and such. Like, the Final Fantasy X series was, especially 10-2, was just, no.
Is that the one where the guy had the chicken, the chocobo, whatever, the little chicken in his afro? Was that 10 or was that am I thinking 13?
Probably 13, because 10-2 was the Charlie's Angels sequel to Final Fantasy or FFX, which was like Riku, Pain, and Yuna with their job spheres. But like, I kind of go back. I always go back to Final Fantasy VI in terms of story, because that's the most memorable for me. With like an enemy like Kefka, where, like the Joker and Batman, just wants to see the world burn, literally in this case, and it's a very Empire Strikes Back ending. It's not a good ending, but it doesn't kind of shy away from those aspects, and I like that they're going this route. God, me too now, because you know they've not really been brutal, and you've got all this killing and slashing and stuff around. Screw it. If they have a blood limiter, I'm putting it to max. I want to see the blood fly.
That's like any FPS game I've ever played where you're given the option to control the blood splatter or the gore. It's crank the sucker right the fuck up. Like let's get down and dirty. This is what the game is for in the first place.
Yep.
I have never played a Final Fantasy game. I think I may have downloaded one at one point way back, I think probably about 3 or 4, and maybe took one look at it and went, no, and deleted it, whatever. I know that the story is probably one of the most integral parts of the success of that game. So seeing them going back to that again, and it looks like they're going from the storyline that was in 7 to the new one in 15. So they're basically cutting out a chunk of the Final Fantasy canon, aren't they?
See, that's where I'm not sure, because the Final Fantasy VII was one I never got a chance to play, because I didn't have a PlayStation at the time, and I don't want to try and track it down now. It sounds like it, or this could be a continuation of that world with flashbacks. I don't know.
I don't know. That was it for me. That's what got me into games to begin with. Damn it! Like that fucking game, that story.
Final Fantasy. Yeah.
7 with these characters, Hojo, Sephiroth, like Zack is mentioned. They, but very briefly in 7, he's kind of like a little side. You know.
Yeah.
They bring him up, but not really. But yeah.
Okay, we're gonna wrap up this with one last little story about a real asshole. I mean, this is an epitome of a real asshole. A young player, a young Destiny player, was playing on his PlayStation. He had a level 31 Warlock and a level 26 Titan, and then a level 23 Hunter. And he willingly gave, because PlayStation's got that share play feature, right?
All right, what is this first? Because I've never heard of this feature.
Basically, it allows you to hand the control of your game over to somebody else. They basically take over your account. All right?
Oh, sounds legit and smart.
Yeah, well, the idea was originally was so that, if a friend, you were playing with a friend and they could get you through an area, you could just basically share the game to them and they could walk you through it and then give it back to you. All right?
Hacks.
Yeah. Anyway, so the fifth grader believed the friend of a friend would show him a trick for leveling up his Destiny characters. Instead, this little asshole, 17-year-old asshole, then proceeded to delete the Warlock and the Titan.
What a little fucking dick.
Okay. Oh, it gets better. It gets better. Okay. Because you figure, he'd kind of feel bad about doing that, right? Somewhat. Apparently, he's basically said he's done it multiple times, 3 or 4, maybe 5. I thought it would be funny, he said. And he's basically told the family, suck it. What else is there to say?
Good freaking Lord.
You know what I would like to see? I'd like to see this little fucking asshole, this griefer, get hunted down by 4chan or Reddit.
That kid would meet the business end of this.
Yeah. Like, I'm serious. 4chan him, Reddit him, because that's not cool. That is not cool at all.
No. You know what? I think this would be one of the few cases where I would be okay with him being doxxed. I know it's going excessive, but if this is not something that is a one-time thing.
Oh, he's done it multiple times.
Yeah, that's what I mean. If this is more than a one-time thing, he needs to have the lesson pounded into him in some way.
Now, he like this 17-year-old that did it, okay? He was asked if he would do it again. He said, it depends on the situation, he said. Maybe, maybe not. He doesn't believe he has anything to say to the injured party's family, and his advice for those suffering after the attack did not ooze sympathy. It said, suck it up and move on with life. What else is there to say? Now, the victim, like the kid's mother, the young preschool, young kid, the mother did reach out to Bungie. And unfortunately, Bungie says, at this point, there is nothing they can do. They cannot bring those 2 characters back. They're gone. They're deleted. They're toast. What they are going to try and do is, moving forward, come up with a mechanism that will allow for characters to be rescued.
They should. But this is Karma's gonna bite that kid in the ass hard.
I'll throw the link in chat so that you guys can read this in all its glory as well.
So yes, this kid is an absolute asshat, okay? And I will give you that. And he gives no fucks about what he did. All right, whatever. You're just a bigger ignorant asshat. But, and you know what? Somebody just said that too. It's like giving your password to a stranger. This idea, because this is obviously the first time I've ever heard of it, because you guys had to tell me what the fuck it was. Why? Who does that? You don't know who this person. It's a friend of a friend. Well, that's good. So here, take my information and play my game, and I'm supposed to just. It's fine. I just trust you to. No.
Well, to be fair, the play share is something new with PlayStation 4. I do believe. I could be wrong.
All right.
But I do believe it's new with PlayStation 4.
I don't want to say it's the young kid's fault, but it kind of is, even though, I mean, it's not fair. And you're right, Karma's going to bite this asshole, because I would be livid. Like, I would be absolutely livid if this happened to me. But
you know, well, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. The middle friend, because this is a friend of a friend who's done it. The friend in the middle is also guilty with this as well, because he's saying, yeah, this guy's trustworthy. You know, like...
I don't know. I wouldn't try... I wouldn't trust somebody with that shit.
I agree with you, Haas. It's a stupid idea. Now, the concept of share play is not a bad idea, but you can be guaranteed that it was going to be screwed with, just like this. It was just there's no two ways about it.
It's just who's the first one to find out how it feels to get screwed is pretty much what's happening.
Yeah, but Snail King, come on, man! Like, you have two really good characters, and some asshat deletes them on you. Come on, there's nothing about learning there. That's getting fucked with, and that's not nice.
Full access. That's key right there. You can have access to a degree, but to be able to delete somebody's character that is not yours, like, shouldn't they be able to tell, okay, this person is now connected, or however it works, on somebody else's game, network, whatever it is? There should be limits there. Like, there should be some sort of wall that doesn't allow you to be able to do something like that.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you there. I think even maybe restricting it to the gameplay itself, and then in terms of opening menus and things like that, if they can restrict all that out, that would be perfect for the system. Just allow them to help with the game itself. No menus, no nothing. Gameplay and gone. That would work better, but that's the problem with these remote access things.
Yeah, okay, Snail King, I get the point. He compromised himself. He's a young kid. He made a mistake. I understand that. But we're talking about a 17-year-old who purposely does this every time he fucking feels like it. This isn't the first time he's done it. He's done it 3 or 4, maybe 5, or if not more times. And
this poor kid just noticed. Or he's done it to other people that many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
This is on the same level as those Microsoft support people that call in telling you that your computer's sending out your data. This is the exact same level of vile shit. Like, it's just that now this is in the gaming realm. It's one kid being an asshat.
Okay, Snail, we're cool, dude. As long as you see our point of view on this. Look, I agree that maybe the younger kid should be more careful. But kids are kids, man. You get a bunch of like 12 and 13 and 14-year-old kids running around playing a game. They're trusting as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And that trust is being abused to the point where he's lost 2 characters that he spent a lot of time creating. And granted, in the scheme of things, yeah, it's not that important. But still, you don't do shit like that. You just don't. Just don't. Anyway.
And there's nothing that they could do to this kid, is there?
No.
No. Yeah,
No.
because he's completely
it's not illegal.
protected.
No.
Yeah.
There's nothing that can be done to him, other than being hunted down by his peers and have his face rubbed in the ground.
His name has not been released in any way, shape, or form, I'm assuming.
No. No.
Lucky.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, we're getting long here. We are coming to the end of the show. I want to thank the beautiful Haas for joining us tonight. Bonus is always when you do. And Red, you and your, is that a Castro hat or is you just,
An army cap.
Yeah, army cap. And thank you, Expert, for following. I love it when you guys hit that old follow button, which reminds me, if you are new to the channel, Snail King, and you like what the discussion is about, like, and the fun that we have here as we talk about the games and the gaming culture and everything around it that we love so much, hit that old follow button down there and let us know that you are enjoying it, and lets us know we're doing something right. But for now, folks, that has been another Late Night with Cranky and Friends. We will be back again tomorrow at 12 a.m. as always, 7 days a week. And don't forget, coming this Sunday, the second episode of the interviews where I sit down with a streamer, a gamer, game devs, and just have a good hour-long conversation about why they do what they do and why they love what they love. But for now, thank you very much. But remember, folks, the two most important words a gamer can possibly hear. Game on.
Gone crazy! Am I the only one around here who gives a shit about the rules?